Good morning, my dear students. Dear students, the chapter name The Glass Jar. It's all about an experiment which the teacher has done in a classroom to demonstrate what is time and how we can manage time. Let me give you a brief. There is always priorities we have in our life. So the teacher conveyed a message from the experiment that priority. There are things all the time, which small, big, and all, but we must always focus on the big issues. Example: you are in school. You are there for what? You are there for studies, right? Games, walking, talking, carom board, playing. These are also in part and parcel of the activities of life. But the main focus is studies. So it is a big stone. The small stone is playing, walking, talking, gossip, understand, joking, understand that candle fire, jungle boot walk. These are the small stones. So we all have to focus on mainly on first stone, big stone, that is studies. So let me start with the chapter, the glass jar. Okay. So see, a well organized person finds time for everything. He always settles in advance that which he has set for himself. It's a if we plan everything in life in advance, we feel life very comfortable. We feel finding things very comfortable, at ease, right? Example, starting from the home, if you have small needle and needle we need for stitch clothes, right? Mend our clothes, small things, not stitching full entire dress. Like sometimes we have to mend our shirt, we have to put a button, so we need a needle and a thread. So suppose you used the needle and the thread, you must place it back to the same place where it was, where family has article things like we have got. Let me cite an example from my home. We have got one almirah. We keep all the things: nail cutter. We keep this needle. We keep thread. We keep floss. Okay, in one box so that any one of us, any one of my family member need it, they quickly go and pick it up, and after finishing the work they can place back to the same box, so that next time any one of any other member need it, they go and utilize the same facility. So this is known as planning. Means, so that say if I use it and by mistake or by my habits, bad habits, I place it any other place. So next time when I have to do it, when I am in need of a needle, I need to do it. I have to find it. I have to call. Know where you kept that. It may be well, the person may have no knowledge about it where I put it last time. So a lot of time goes waste, and finally work also goes bad. So in this way, in this chapter, the teacher wanted to illustrate that it's very important for everyone to have time management, to know the timing, to respect the time management and all. It is only done when we plan things, then only time management happens. He always settles in advance. Example, if we have got exams, what we do, we prepare properly, we revise chapters properly. We do not have to run at the last moment, at the 11th hour, we can say. So similarly, we have got pencil, sharpeners, erasers, a kind of geometry tools and all well in advance. It it is known as planning. So time management is only successful when we plan things. Suppose we have to go to a picnic tomorrow. So for the picnic we need transportation. We manage, our parents manage transportation, proper transportation, proper food. Like we keep extra water there, extra food there, so that we don't have to run pillar to post at the 11th hour. So without wasting time, let's start. And what is the experiment? Let me tell you. Absorb. The students of grade 6 were quite excited over the weekend. It was Miss Anna's class. She was popular among students for her different experiments. Her pupils, her pupils loved her form of teaching, as at times they themselves had to think of experiments that would aid in understanding. So, students, it is grade six, like same as you, and sixth class was excited over the weekend because it was Miss Anna's class. It was planned. The school that who is administrating classes and all, they put the Miss Anna's class over the weekend. She was popular among students for her different experiments. Her form of teaching was different. Normally, people go through textbooks, give answer from questions and answer from the textbooks, so it remains as a text. But some teachers have got experience over the time, and with the good students, so they want to illustrate the chapters in such a way they remember the chapter without putting much work, so they remember itself there only. So this is known as talent. So Miss Anna was talented lady. She always had a different form of experiments, and students liked it. They themselves had to think of experiments that would aid in the understanding. See, the students itself means were so interested in this. When they planned it, no, today it may be different thing, something different, which because they were prepared. The most famous experiments of Miss Anna were based on the people and their behavior. This weekend, the subject was really difficult. Time and difficult. Okay, the most famous experiments of Miss Anna. Miss Anna, believe, had an experience over the people and their behavior. So this weekend, it was about another experiment that is known as time management. How can one conduct an experiment on time management? You say uh, time is such a thing which you cannot see, which you cannot touch, you cannot feel. So it is very difficult to illustrate or demonstrate such an experiment on that thing which is invisible, untouchable. Means we don't know. Understand? So this was a talent. She had this talent. She can experiment on such a topic which you cannot feel. Like if I have to give an example on the car, I can tell you this is car, this is tire, this is steering, this is back door, this is doors, this is main thing. But time management, you cannot even at this level, at the sixth class level, means may have some difficulties to check where is time. Some people, some students may ask, "Madam, you are talking about time. What is time? Where is time?" Like that. So she was very experienced lady. Miss Anna stood in front of the students who were eager for the class to start. So Miss Anna, as usual, she stood in front of the class. A teacher stood always in front of class and started the experiment. She walked across the room, meeting eyes with each student. She walked into the room, that classroom, and was looking at every student on with means eagerly, means checking. Okay. She finally she finally said to the class, "We are going to conduct an experiment." Finally, when she came to the class, she was looking at every student's throat, eye to eye contact, and she finally said, "We have. Let's go and start our experiment." And we she started experiment. She pulled out a big jar from under the table and gently placed in front of her. You can see as per the picture down below given in the page number 2, she put up one big jar she already placed in under the table, and she put that jar on the table over yeah, and she put okay. Next, she pulled a big stone. She put big stone slowly without damaging the jar into the jar. Each of the size tennis ball, you say, assumed it was a tennis ball size, and she put few balls of the tennis ball size stones onto the jar. Next, she pulled out a big bag of stones, each of the size of a tennis ball, and placed them. Okay. She did so until there was no room to add the another stone in the jar. She was adding the stones, that tennis ball size stones, into the jar till the time There was no space to add more tennis ball size stone. Lifting her gaze to the students, while experiencing some teachers look at the students, means what they are thinking, where their mind is. Miss Anna said, "Is this jar full?" As a question, she asked. The students quickly replied, "Yes, Miss Anna." So she asked, "Is this jar full now? Is there any space now?" Students quickly said, "No, there is no space." The Miss Anna paused for a moment and they said, "Are you sure? Caps, are you sure that there is no space in the jar that we can add more pebbles, this stones?" Once again, she reached under the table and pulled out a bag of pebbles full of pebbles. The pebbles are the stones of small size. Okay. Carefully, she poured the pebbles into the and rattled the jar slightly. She put these now. There was space, means not for the big stones, but for pebbles. She put slowly into the jar and shook the jar slowly, so that the pebbles got settled down everywhere. The sand. Okay. Mm. Again, she lifted her gaze. Again, she looked at the students and asked, "Is this jar full now?" At this point, students began to understand that Miss Anna wanted them to focus on something. Again, she said, "Is this jar full now?" After putting the pebbles into the big mix in the jar, after students reply. The students were thinking that no, there is something which she want to convey. Means it's not only yes or no. She wanted to illustrate something. One of the students replied, "No, no, miss." She said, "You are right." Now pulling out a big bag of sand from the table, cautiously she poured the sand into the jar. The sand filled up to the space between the stones and the pebbles. Yet again, Miss Anna said, "I hope this jar is full now. Is it correct?" Now, she after the tennis ball size stones, she put the pebbles, and after that, now she poured the sand into the between the pebbles of the size this space. She filled up with the sand. She asked again. Now I think it is full of. There is no space. Is it correct? Without hesitation, the entire group of the students replied, "No," because with the teacher, students also get that kind of an experiments. They get that vision of the teacher, because otherwise, if it is normal, say, "No, ma'am, there is already big stones." Then she put pebbles. Then there is sand. There is nothing. Okay, correct, she said, and she reached for the pitcher of water and pitcher that water was the table and poured water into the jar until it was absolutely full. Now, at the end, she put a pebble of water, sorry, a glass of water, a pitcher of water into that jar, and there was no space in that. Means now it got complete. Miss Anna now looked at the students once again. What did you learn from this experiment? Now this Miss Anna is looking at the students after this experiment. She is asking, what did you learn from the experiment? One of the students quickly replied, "We learned that busy as we may be, we should try harder so that we can do more and more work." Normally, she felt that no, she put then stones, then pebbles. It was a kind of a hard work. So if we keep on doing hard work, we may achieve our goals. But in one sense, it was not the moral of this experiment. It was not the conclusion. "No," replied Miss Anna. "We can conclude from the experiment that if we do not pull all the larger stones in the jar first, we will never be able to fit all of them." See, see how wisely she concluded the chapter. She said that if we cannot put the big stones first, those stones only created the space. But if we put the pebbles or sand first, it may not fit. So we may only it may only give space to the only small amount, because Sand is very small, so it's spread. It gets scattered everywhere. So she mean to that the students were silent as Miss Anna continued. We what are the largest stones for you? Winning a competition, focusing on learning football, paying attention to your school, learning a new language. These different from person to person. Said she is asking for the students, what is the largest stones for you? क्या ये कंपटीशन जीतना है, या अपने फुटबॉल मैच पे फोकस करना है, या अपने पेइंग सॉरी स्टूडेंट्स को अटेंशन क्रिएट करने के लिए था? नहीं. लर्निंग ए न्यू लैंग्वेज? नो. सो इट डिपेंड्स अपॉन पर्सन टू, ये लोगों पे निर्भर करता है. What we must remember is that the most important to include the largest stones in our daily activities and the life first, because we do not do so, we can miss the most important things in our life. जैसे हम स्कूल जाते हैं, हम दोस्तों से मिलते हैं, वी मीट अवर फ्रेंड्स, वी शेयर अवर फूड, we do everything, and finally we come out of the day, and at the end of the day. But she wanted us to focus on bigger jobs. Chit chatting is not a job, it is a part of the life. But what we have to do today, what we have come for school, what we learn, that is our main big stones, that is our main achievements. What we have learned today, that is very important. Otherwise talking, joking, playing, it's everyday's routine. Let's say in sports, if you learned one technique today, that is a priority. If you have gone for a coaching for 10 days coaching classes for one football training, every day you play football, but what is your aim? You have to make one a goal. No, I have gone there for, I have come here for one basic training, and I must learn the techniques, I must learn how to develop stamina. That are the big stones. Otherwise going cinema with friends is not a big stone for us. It is a part and parcel. It is a part of life. But without them, our day can be fruitful. But we should aim first on the bigger stone. That is our education. That is our health. Understand? So, because of this, never forget to ask yourself, what are the largest stones for me? Once you have identified them, be sure to put them first in your life, in the jar of the time. This is what we call the effective time management, saying Miss Anna and walked away. So Miss Anna taught the lesson to the class 6th, that our bigger stones are the first priorities, and with the other things, those are the second priorities. Tomorrow we have to go for a picnic, that is a second priority, but main priority is the education. So dear students, this was a chapter in the glass jar. So Miss Anna did an experiment effectively and passed to the students. Now you have to do this reflect that small questions are there. Like, I follow a regular timetable for the student every day. So this is a test on how you spend your time in school. If your answer the question below is always, write 3. Okay, if your answer is sometimes, write 2. If your answer is probably not, write 1. So I follow the regular timetable of the studying every day. So it's always is, when is 3. Okay, I write down my tasks and check the list regularly. You have to be honest with yourself and write down. And finally, you have to check how many are 1, how many are 2, and how many are 3. Okay, so this is finish of the chapter, and you can go through the chapter once again personally. And if you have any doubt, you can call me please on this number. And if you need any assistance more, one who little bit, sometimes all the students are not same as so we need to focus on the students also who have little difficulties. Okay, so please and please, I request you personally, not as a teacher, as a parent I'm talking. If you need any more attention towards the studies, please feel free to call or message. And I hope you understood the chapter. Thank you so very much, and good day.